Self-love is connected to all of your desires. Keep watching as we go over 3 ways to increase your self-love tank and your glow up. Bonjour, welcome to La Clinique Molière, where we increase awareness and improve the quality of living. I'm Rachel, and on this channel, we talk about mindful living, self-development, women's and maternal child health. Let's get to it. Self-love is connected to all of your desires because you attract what you are, not what you want. And so it's so important to do a self-love check every now and then. Self-love also drives your behavior. So you may verbally say, I love myself, but subconsciously you're sabotaging career, sabotaging love, sabotaging relationships. So the list goes on. Because you attract what you are and what you believe you're worthy of, it's easy to do a self-love assessment. Okay, so self-love check. Just assess your experiences, assess the relationships you're attracting, assess the encounters you have on a daily basis. And that's another good way to assess your self-love tank. When you're radiating love, you attract loving experiences, loving surroundings, loving people. And so that's another way to assess how full is your self-love tank. Not to worry, we're going to talk about 3 ways to increase your self-love tank and your glow up. Number 1, the mind or mental health. A great way to do that is through that inner self-talk or being mindful of that inner self-talk or the thoughts about yourself to yourself. All that chatter that goes on in your head. Those are really great ways because if you can't see yourself with it, then you can't obtain it. So you have to convince yourself. If you can't convince yourself you're worthy to have it, then you'll never have it. Okay, so you have to start with that inner voice and that inner self-talk. So being mindful of those voices and what they're saying. And if it's a negative thought, I like to counter my negative inner self-talk. When it does arise, I like to counter it with a positive thought right at the door. So I like to do an inner self-talk check. And if it doesn't serve me, I thank the thought for trying to protect me. I think it, I let the thought know that it's no longer serving me, and I choose to believe, and then you can say, I choose to believe, and then you counter it with another positive thought, or counter it with a positive thought. Okay, so inner self-talk, being mindful of those thoughts in your head, and when they do arise, right away, immediately, gratitude for the thought, and countering it with a positive thought. Very effective. Another great way to address and increase your self-love tank is mirror work. Abraham Hicks says it best, but definitely doing that mirror work. Can you today, why don't you pause the video? Are you able to go to the mirror now and say that you lovingly approve of yourself and you love and approve of yourself and all is well with you? Are you able to pet yourself and tell yourself all is well? I am where I am. I meet myself where I am. On this channel, we're always going to remind you to start where you are. Just start. And so a mirror work is really good. It's a good assessment as well, assessment tool to see if you're even able to tell yourself that I forgive you, I love you, I love and approve of myself. Are you able to even say that? And how do you feel when you're saying it? That's another assessment tool. If you feel like that doesn't go downstream and it doesn't feel good, then we need to have some work to do. Another way to improve your self-love tank is just that mindfulness, that mindful living. So check of how you're feeling, your emotions, and you can do that with journaling. I like to just start the morning off with journaling. I just pour out how I'm feeling for the day, maybe set intentions for the day, positive affirmations that are serving and supportive and loving. Louise Hay was also another big advocate for mirror work and meeting yourself where you are. So embracing all of your flaws, it's the way to improve your flaws is meeting yourself where you are. I highly encourage mirror work as a daily practice. Number 2, body connection. So we talked about the mind, now we're talking about the body, and later we'll talk about the spirit connection and how it all connects with self-love. So another great way to assess your self-love tank is to assess some of your physical health habits, okay? So again, it's easy to say, I love myself, and but the proof is in the pudding. So how do you treat your temple? How do you treat your temple? What habits are you engaging in on a regular basis? And is that indicative of love? Always remember to start where you are, okay? Measurable, achievable goals for where you are. Individualize your care, okay? Your care package, okay? So start where you are. That includes physical health, so getting out there, so increasing your physical activity, healthier food choices, and healthier physical habits. So those can all help you in improving your physical health. Another thing I found that was really helpful with improving my self-love tank as it relates to my body connection was embracing all of my flaws, you know. So I think I mentioned this in another video, but your creator, source, God, believes you're perfect. So when you are noting your flaws and you're countering with thoughts that don't agree with that statement of your perfection, that's when it doesn't feel good. That's when you may have anxiety, depression, you name it. And so those are some really great assessment tools to see, how do you feel? Are you aligned with what source thinks of you? And the less you point out your flaws, the more you start to see the beauty in yourself as well. I found that was really helpful for me. So I started noticing more of my beauty, and then also beauty in my surroundings and beauty in other people. So it's another great way to assess and to change your perception and change your thought process. It's so important. Practical tool to help with that is to counter a flawed statement with what you want it to be or what you're creating, okay? So your desire. So a practical tool for that aspect is to counter that flawed thought with a positive thought. So speak life to your flaws and with the exact counter of what you want it to be. It's so powerful. And it works. Once you're in touch with who you are, or once you know who you really are, what's there not to love? Number 3, spiritual health, or that spirit connection. So this is a big one. They're all important. And again, that coherence of all 3. And but the spiritual health, a big one. Make time daily, at least 15 to 30 minutes for spiritual practice, meditation, even if it's 5 minutes per day, where you're quieting the mind, you're going to stillness, to silence, and you're being guided. Also, prayer, so that you get to talk in that case. Meditation, you're listening. And then affirmations can always reinforce your spiritual practice. Reading the Bible, creating affirmations from your Bible, another great way to improve your spiritual health. And just being mindful is a great way that I like to, do my spiritual health check to ensure that I'm aligned. But definitely just setting that time aside, whether it's in the morning or night, whatever works best for your schedule, but where you have that uninterrupted practice for spiritual health. That's it for this video. I hope something resonated with you and you'll be able to start practicing today something you learned. Be sure to comment below if there's something that you think you could benefit from, or something that you've already been practicing, or anything that you want to recommend to the community that you do to improve your self-love tank or to assess your self-love tank. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As we grow our community, we increase awareness and we improve quality of living. Thank you for watching. Merci. I'll see you in the next video. Au revoir.